Hey, I'm Wispy, and welcome to another character design session. And this time is a little different because this character isn't for a personal project or a fan character for a show, but for a competition for a local art convention. Every year, Overload artists create original character designs using the prompt and template provided. This year, the prompt was an Isekai character who is initially labeled as a villain, but ultimately revealed as a hero. This immediately gave me a ton of ideas. But before I start, I don't think I really need to say this, but this video is not sponsored by Overload, as if that would ever happen. I just made a cool character design and wanted to share it with you guys. Anyway, let me show you how this character design process went. Special thanks to Medea for helping me out with the text and composition for this design sheet. So to start, here are some sketches I did, as well as my overall notes and ideas for the design. I really wanted to make a unique character, as isekai protagonists tend to be quite boring, but adding the villain element in there really made things interesting. My main idea was that the character would be summoned as a hero, but something about the summoning messed up, making everyone think she was a monster. I have unfortunately been playing League of Legends a lot recently, so I took a bit of inspiration from two of those characters, those being Kai'Sa and Morgana. They're both heroes who people believe are monsters. The main ideas I took from them were Morgana's magic chains and feathers, and Kai'Sa's symbiotic void suit. For my own ideas, the main colour would be purple, as the midway point between red and blue. Kind of cliche, I know, but hey, I just love purple, so please let me try and justify it. I also wanted to include alternative fashion, which happens to often include chains and dark villainy colours. I had so many ideas for her face. As you can see, her face was originally very twisted and spiky, with big round eyes to show her true nature. However, I toned this down a lot in later designs because it was way too busy. I really liked this big spiky ponytail shape and kept this through the whole design process. To contrast this, my main design shape for the clothes would be feathers. It was really important to have a mix of modern and fantasy clothes to fit the isekai theme. The outfit design at the bottom is the one I brought to finalize digitally, but there were still a lot of changes I would make. First, I added some corruption elements back in, with a big monster arm and eyes all over one side of her body. I also added some rips to the pants to add some detail there. Next, I added more details to the coat, with more feather shapes and a chain across her chest. After doing some quick colour swatching, I added the headpiece back that I had in some earlier designs, but later I would remove it again, otherwise the design would be too busy. It's really hard not to overcomplicate and over-design a character like this, especially because I'm taking so much time with it. The line art was a little different from what I usually do. I usually like nice thick lines, but this one I was trying for an anime/manga style with thinner lines. I made so many tiny adjustments it was hard to keep track. You can see I started adding in some colours because I was getting bored of just doing line art. At this point, I really didn't like the overall silhouette, so I made a fresh copy of the file and changed up a few things, mostly how the coat worked. I didn't like all the sharp shapes around the shoulders, so I made the top of the coat into more of a shawl with more feather shapes. I also made one side of the collar lower so her face was more visible. I also changed her shirt and changed the coat colours from solid purple to mainly black fading into purple. I added some glow to the corrupted parts, then started working on the back view. This was pretty straightforward. The main thing I added here was the sword. My idea was that when she was summoned, she also received a sword. However, this sword represented the sort of hero she was supposed to be, so she rejected the sword in favour of magic instead. The sword has a more light-themed design with angel wings and bright blue to contrast the dark purple. And finally, I added in two expressions. And here's the final design. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk about it. It's definitely the design I've put the most time and thought into. For a bit of context, I've spent about 3 weeks thinking about this one, so I hope it shows. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and until I post next, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye!